Zain in the Hidden Spring. In the heart of a lush and enchanting forest, where tall trees embraced and the wind whispered ancient secrets, lived a small boy named Zain. His home was warm and cozy, surrounded by wildflowers and colorful butterflies. Zain loved the forest more than anything else and spent his days exploring its hidden paths. Zain lived with his wise grandmother Hakima, who taught him everything about the forest, the names of plants, the sounds of birds, and the secrets of animals. Hakima always used to say, "The forest is a living being, Zain, and we must protect and care for it." But recently, Zain noticed something strange. The tree leaves had become dull, the number of butterflies had decreased, and the birds no longer sang with the same vitality. The forest was slowly losing its magic, and Zain felt a deep sadness. One rainy day, while Zain was helping his grandmother tidy up the old attic, he found a dusty wooden box. He opened it carefully to find an old, yellowed map inside, drawn with mysterious lines and symbols he didn't understand. "What is this, Grandma?" Zain asked as he wiped the dust off the map. Hakima smiled a sad smile and said, "This is the map of the Hidden Spring, my dear. It is said to be a wish-granting spring, located in the deepest part of the forest." Zain remembered his grandmother's words about the forest being a living being, and he felt that this spring was the only hope to bring their beloved forest back to life. Zain decided to find the hidden spring, no matter the cost. The next morning, after bidding farewell to his grandmother and stocking up on some food and water, Zain set off on his adventure. The forest seemed darker and quieter than he was used to, but his determination was stronger than his fear. On his way, Zain met a small squirrel named Bunduk, who seemed sad. Zain asked him why he was sad, and Bunduk told him that nuts had become scarce, and the trees were no longer producing much fruit. Zain told Bunduk about his mission to find the hidden spring, and promised him that if he succeeded, the forest would return to its former glory and even better. Bunduk decided to join Zain on his journey, as helping to save the forest was everyone's task. They continued deeper into the forest, where the trees became older and more enormous. The map began to glow with a faint light, as if guiding them on the right path. As they walked, they heard the faint sound of trickling water. They followed the sound and found themselves in front of a small waterfall flowing between rocks. The water was clear and sparkling, but it wasn't the hidden spring they were looking for. Suddenly, an old and wise owl named Hakim appeared from among the branches of a huge tree. He looked at them with piercing eyes and said in a deep voice, "The hidden spring is not just water, but the beating heart of the forest. To find it, you must follow the trail of the fallen stars." Zain thanked Hakim the owl for his advice and thought about the meaning of, quote, fallen stars. He remembered his grandmother Hakima telling him about flowers that glowed at night like tiny stars. Zain and Bunduk decided to search for these flowers. As night fell, the forest began to shimmer with faint points of light. They were small flowers, glowing with a light blue color. Zain and Bunduk followed these glowing flowers, which led them through a narrow passage they had never seen before. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound in the bushes. A cunning fox named Makhaleb jumped out in front of them, his eyes gleaming mischievously. "Where are you two little ones going?" Makhaleb asked in a sly voice, trying to scare them. Zain told him about their mission to save the forest. Makhaleb laughed scornfully. "The hidden spring is mine. No one else will find their way to it but me." He tried to snatch the map from Zain's hand. But Bunduk, who was quick and clever, jumped onto Makhaleb's head and knocked off a small hat he was wearing. The fox was surprised and ran away into the darkness, leaving Zain and Bunduk laughing. They continued walking until they reached a cave lit by the glowing stars. Deep inside the cave, there was a small spring from which rainbow-colored water sparkled. This was the hidden spring. The spring was not an ordinary spring, but a heart beating with a faint light. When Zain touched the water, he felt a warm energy flowing through his veins. He realized that the hidden spring was not meant to grant wishes, but to awaken hope in the hearts of those who found it. Zain and Bunduk returned to the forest, their hearts filled with hope. Green leaves began to grow again, birds returned to sing, and colorful butterflies fluttered everywhere. The forest returned to its magic thanks to Zain's courage and faith.
Follow me.